Good morning, welcome to this morning's RC coffee chat. And I got the missus's 4 mug just to wind her up when she comes into the office later. Right, on to today's topics. I've only got a couple this morning. The first one is the Talon tray, which I'm super impressed about. We've got the Wing Z84, which you saw last night. If you didn't see that episode, do go stop immediately and go and watch that episode, because that Wing is absolutely bonkers. That's probably the best term for it. And I've got a little twist for you on that one. You'll find out about that one in a minute. Some strobe lights, which I've got up on my screen. Pop those there. What else we got? Oh, I've still not opened the box. Believe it or not, I've still not got round to doing the unboxing video for the big delivery. So I'll have a shave and whatnot later, and we'll go and get that one done. My plan was to do it first thing this morning. So yeah, we'll see how that goes this morning. The other one is Ecalc as well, for working out propeller efficiency, but the details are very odd. We'll get to that in a few moments. Oh, and Craig tried taking me out with his Teksumo. Not once, not twice, like a dozen times as well. So you'll find out about that in a few moments time. So going back to the original topic, I am super impressed with my little Talon tray. I've got it all lined up. It's all nice and square. I did use CA glue to put it together. I'll put it up on the camera for you so you can see it. But then I have been and created this false floor. So I've got 2 pieces of foam boarding now. One which I've wedged inside, and then an extra piece on the bottom because I'm paranoid. And then I've been in there. I don't know how well this is going to come out on the web camera, but I have been around the inside edge with some hot glue, with my favourite little hot glue gun. These things are wicked. I'll put a link to these in the video description because, yeah, they are really cool. In fact, I had to confiscate it from the wife because she kept running me back lipo batteries flat. They are really good. Yeah, really nice little, so you could get in there. There's a cat hair in there, but you can get in there and do a really nice job all the way around the little bits. And yeah, it's just because it's got a finer nozzle, where like I've got a Stanley one and it's just like big cumbersome thing, where with that one you get a super nice accuracy on it. So the mini-talon is progressing slowly but surely. I did get the laminating film arrived with me yesterday. Scott was asking yesterday in the comments about what film did I go for. I think it was 75 micron, and it cost me a £5 and 4 servos because I bought it off Craig because he bought 2 rolls. So, and you see how long it is, you realise that you'd never get through it in a lifetime. And where did Craig get it from? eBay. In short, I think it was about 14 quid, something like that. So yeah, not very dear at all. And I will be coating the mini-talon with it as well. So that's the Talon tray. Yeah, looking forward to flying the Talon. Wing. Aha! Wing on 2S. So yesterday, you saw it going absolutely bonkers on 4S. But the thing is, you'll only realistically get... you would only really be getting about 3.5 minutes worth of flight time to bring it back down and have a battery left which you can charge again at the end of it, something like that, especially with that big 4S 1.3 pack. It's 60C, and that's kind of like linked into the Ecalc, which we'll get to in a few moments. But yeah, it is absolutely bonkers. You can run it on 4S, but you just can't blink with it. You saw how fast it is. It's absolutely bonkers. So what I was thinking when I was on my way home is that what happens if I got two 2S batteries like so, and then join them up in parallel, and then that would give me the extra weight, so it would actually fit in the model and we get the CFG right. But then we get a 2000 milliampere pack, which we can run her on 2S, and that got me thinking, because one of the best experiences I've ever had with the Wing Z84 is that when she's been just dancing in the wind. And remember that the models for 50 quid series is when I was discussing the Wing is that when she was just dancing in the sky. And I am super curious that if I can get it to run on 2S with the 2 of these together, and I think I've got a little parallel connector which I've made up before. If not, I can just knock one up. And I think that's going to work great. I've got my hopes are high for this one, because yeah, I think it would be quite nice on 2S. Launching is going to be a bit weird, because you saw what she's like on even when she's heavily overpowered. It does like to go vroom and dip. But yeah, curiosity's got the better of me. What would she be like on 2S? So I'm going to tape 2 of these up, do a parallel connector, and give it a whirl. I thought that was a pretty good idea myself. Yeah, and if it means like a longer flight time, just to have just enough power to get it up into the sky and then just glide all the way back down again. Because it's great fun on the way back down. Don't think I'm just being lame because, Matt, you're not ragging the nuts off it. The Wings Z84, yes, you can go absolutely bonkers with. But on the flip side, it's not only going mental for a few seconds to get it out in the sky, but if you can get a little bit of height on, is that the Wings Z84 really will just glide forever on the way back down. And that's just as much fun as going bonkers at times. So, yeah, I'm going to give the 2S a whirl. What else we got? Oh, I saw on a video last night, which unfortunately I've closed the tab. Anyway, I saw on top of their model they had a strobe, and the chap came back and suggested he was actually using one of these. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, there's the strobe. I thought that was a really good idea to put on top of the Phantom, on top of the Talon when she's ready. And they do come, you can get these little polycarbonate covers as well, which I thought was a really cool idea. Now, I'm kind of like 50-50. Do I go for the V2, which has a really nice polycarbonate cover available for it? Or then they've got the original white ones, but I can't see a cover for it unless I'm being completely blind. Let me just go back to LED systems. And by the way, if you do spot the correct cover for it, please do let me know. Look, they've got those ones there in that pack. So if I scroll down, and apologies if I'm scrolling quickly, I am just being curious. It doesn't actually say if that's the right one for the lens, does it? Brake signals. It doesn't say that that one's the right one for... Yeah, there's the V2. I'm just scrolling down. I don't know. If you know which one's the right cover for the version 1, do let me know. The one thing which I did notice on both of these is that when you look at the specifications, is that it's really cool because you can hook them up to your plane, you can run them in, you can change them off the receiver. But the one bit which did concern me, running it off the receiver line, strobe, 60 milliamps. 1 amp when flashing. That's probably not good. That will definitely be running on a separate back because that's just bonkers. We'll share the ground between them so that I can still tweak them off the receiver. So yeah, look, you can see on there what you can do. And of course you can add more than one of these strobes to a model, which would be pretty cool. But for me right now, I think I'm going to aim for somewhere in the middle of the aircraft. And yeah, I thought they looked cool. So I'm going to get one of those. But right now I'm thinking of adding in, getting a couple of the V2s rather than the original one because it's really obvious which cover I can get for it. And the cover looks pretty cool. So, and to be honest, I'd probably just hot glue that down, if I'm honest, rather than a mechanical fitting where they've got the screw lugs either side. I would go for, very simply just hot glue. And maybe a tiny little bit of goop. Be very careful with the goop just around that bottom edge just to keep the damp out as well, because you've seen what the weather's here like here at the moment. Yesterday when we were up with the Wings Z84, it was basically we're on top of a hill and we were in a cloud. That you could just see it as you were driving up to the flying site. As you started to climb up the hill, it was just cloud everywhere, and you could see it for miles away as well. Nuts. The box is still over there. I've still not had a chance to open her up. It was about 8 o'clock last night. I was knackered and went off to bed. So hence why I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. So I will get to the box opening episode. It will be out in a day or two, something like that. On to Ecalc. I think their site's broken. In short, I've put in a 2500 milliamp for 65C normal 4S configuration. I am using the easy view version because on the iPad it will let me choose the D2826 2200 kV motor, but on there when I'm using the desktop I can, and I noticed they had a easy view which does have the motor in there. I've set the speed controller to 100, manufacturer Turnigy D2826 2200 kV, which it is. Gear ratio is going to be 1, isn't it? I've just chosen an APC electric, but it doesn't really matter which one you choose on there because I've got it set to 6x4 with 2 blades, and then hit calculate, and that's just wrong. Current. There's no way that motor takes 23 amps. I know that. I don't even need to put a speed checker on it, the current meter on it for the power rating, because when I did it before, it was hitting 50 some amps on 4S. So yeah, I know that's horribly wrong. So I think I've missed out something here somewhere along the lines, and it definitely was again pitch speed. Yeah, 181. No, it was doing more than 81 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so maybe their site's broken. Maybe I've put the wrong details in. If you think I've put the wrong details in, do let me know. And I can guarantee you they've got that one piece right there, which is the motor case temperature is definitely critical because that came down rather toasty. So if you did have any considerations of using or any ideas of using the Wing Z84 on 4S, just be fully prepared that I do view the motors, brushless motors, generally as consumables. So if you do burn it out, and mine's already making a bit of a weird noise from the last abuse which I gave it, so yeah, just be aware that the motor's life expectancy is going to be much less because it is definitely not rated for 4S. Okay, it's only 3S. And the last topic of today is, you may have noticed in the Wing episode that we had some hoops out and some cones down on the ground. And all that was for some flying wing action. Now, unfortunately, the ground was sopping wet, and it wasn't long before I completely baked my little Hornet FPV flying wing, and the camera started coming up with a black bar, and then it just gave up in the end, where the whole nose area just got absolutely saturated, including the camera. So I didn't think it was a good idea that I flew that one anymore. So pop that back on the sheet. And then Craig was going around again. Craig, wow, he did just so well. Craig's, when he first goes to fly FPV, he gets a little bit nervous. But on the flip side, you would have seen it within about 6 laps. He'd gone from flying like really, really high, and because we had the air gates on the ground, he came round and he was getting it pretty much consistent every single time. But slight issue that he did try knocking me out every single time. So I've got some video footage here which I'll edit up so you can see Craig up here making his way in. I'm stood on the right next. There you go. There's him doing a pass. Now I'm stood on the line where the hoops were, and the reason why I was stood on the line is because it was a really dark and dingy day up there, and even I struggled on with my little Hornet FPV wing, which has got I know the custom settings which I've got on that camera, and I was struggling. And what I was doing is flying across the field, turning left at the molehills, and then coming across. But I was using Craig's black coat as a reference to try and find the line straight through. So let me see if I can fast this forward this a touch. I don't know if it's in this one or not. Well, there you go. So Craig was, I've got to go back a sec. There we go. Here he comes. Here he's come. I swear blind he was using me as a target for it. So I'll edit that up and get that in an episode for later this week, as soon as I can. Yeah, really, really good fun. It didn't get me, and again, it just to help Craig get through those loops, and yeah, we both got through them once on the ground in the end. So anyway, with that said, for myself, Matt, just to quickly recap what we've been and covered today. We've got the Talon trades coming along. I'm going to try the Wing Z84 on 2S. Don't know how that one's going to go. Strobe lights. Do let me know what you think about the cover for the strobe lights. I can't see a cover for the V1 ones. Those ones. No, that's the infrared ones. The just standard ones. I couldn't see a cover for those, so that's a bit annoying. So, yeah, I was just going to go for the V2. Seems like a logical choice, to be honest, for me. If you think otherwise, do let me know in the comments underneath this episode. The box I will get to. Like I said, I need a bit of a trim up this morning, so we'll get that done. Ecalc, definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. It's like no way in a Blue Monkeys that does that motor with that prop on 4S only take 23 amps. I do not believe it at all. No way. So, yeah, bit of a weird one, but probably user error on my part for that one. Oh, and then Craig's episode as well. So I'll get that one edited up in the next couple of days. So, with that said, sorry, no contents of the box yet. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer on that one, but I can tell you it's definitely going to be worth waiting for. So for myself, Matt, I was going to say, if you're out flying today, happy days. I might be flying later on. I've got the Phantom battery packs loaded up or charged up, and I've charged all the batteries from yesterday as well, so it might be a bit of FPV here this afternoon. Happy days. So, time for me to go. Coffee's pretty much cold. Hope you've enjoyed this morning's RC coffee chat, and any questions about anything which we covered here this morning, please just pop it in the comments section underneath this episode. And with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I shall see you again tomorrow morning. So on that note, cheerios!